So and that was like earlier, like in the time, right? Like when I was around Kyle and everything, right? So so fast forward, right, to when I moved to Donwood, right? When I moved to Donwood, there was like one night when I was hanging out with Christian, right, and stuff. We were like at the like the little park, whatever, like in the complex, and it was like almost 9 o'clock. I was just sitting there like with him, and I was like, man, like I miss my buddy Kyle. Like I haven't seen him in like a little while. I wonder how he is. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh Christian, I'm gonna walk back and go see Kyle right now. You know what I mean? He's like, really? And I was like, yeah. And it was like 9 o'clock, right? I just did it with my own like my own just decision, right? Out of nowhere. I just was like, yep, I'm gonna go do it. And so I don't tell my mom. I don't, you know what I mean, do anything like that. I just start up walking, right? Start walking. So I walk from Donwood all the way back to Langside, right? In the middle of the night, whatever. I don't know how long it fucking took me to walk, right? Throughout the walk I saw a bunch of homeless niggas, people doing drugs, whatever, right? But I just walked and these niggas didn't bother me. They didn't do nothing. And it's a true story. And the Winnipeg police could vouch for this. And so then, you know what I mean, I walk, right? I don't know how long it took me. Like I said, I was probably like ten years old at the time. You know what I mean? But I'm a tall kid, like I said, and like like I said, I didn't knew that city like the back of my head. I was really good with directions. You know what I mean? So like I knew that place. Like it was just easy for me to get around. And so you know what I mean? So when I got there, right, it was however time. I'm sitting there. I'm like going to Kyle's house, which is just like the street over from Langside, right? And he just lived like the street over from me. So I go over to the house, right? I knock. I don't, it's pretty late, right? But I like all the lights are off and everything in the house, and it's dark. So I give it like three knocks, right? Three good knocks. No one answers. I'm like, okay. I give it three more solid knocks. No one answers, right? And then I give it like a harder knock. No one's there, and I'm like, fuck. So now I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do, right? It's fucking dark. I fucking don't know anywhere to be, right? Anyways, there. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back to the apartment. Rob obviously still lives there, right? Because they own the building. So I just buzzed Rob's number a couple times, right? He didn't answer. I'm like, he buzzing obviously, right? Because I need to fucking get in somewhere. So he finally, buzzes in or like lets it in or whatever kind of thing. That probably doesn't know what's going on. And then um I go to the stairwell again, right? Like that I already been to before, right? I chill in the stairwell. I'm in there, go to the top, and I go to sleep, whatever, right? I'm thinking like I'll just wait till the next day. He'll pop over Kyle. Maybe he's there, and then whatever, everything will be all right, kind of thing. Meanwhile, right, my parents don't know where I'm at, anything like that. I just went in my own my own volition. You know what I mean? Just left um because you know what I mean, like when I was a kid and stuff, it was like if I wanted to do something, like I just did it, you know what I mean, like nothing could stop me. I was just all right, like this is what I'm gonna do and I'm gonna do it, you know what I mean. And I think even to this day it stayed with me. It's just I don't know if it's drive, it's carelessness, it's whatever, but it's like when I'm determined for something, I really wanted to go see a friend at the time. You know what I mean? I just walked to go see a friend. You know what I mean? Didn't care how long it took or whatever I had to do to get there. I just did it. Um, So anyways, so I sleep it off, right? Whatever. I wake up in the morning, and I'm a kid, obviously, right? So like kids wake up pretty fucking early. Like I wake up like 8 o'clock, probably like 7:45 or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like probably like most kids. So I'm up pretty fucking early or whatever. I'm like I'm like, oh okay, so it's probably early, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go probably to the art gallery, like the art place, right? That was right beside like the community center. And because I'm like, oh, like they're usually open early and like they have breakfast and stuff there. So I was like, oh, I'll go visit them. You know what I mean? And I'll go get some breakfast and then you know what I mean? I'll go see Kyle or something. So, I walk over, right? I walk over to the place and like I come in and they're like I was like, hey, how are you guys, right? And they're like, dang, and I was like, yeah, and they're like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, oh, like I wanted to go see Kyle, so you know what I mean. I came to visit or whatever. And they're like, didn't you move? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, do your parents know you're here? And I was like, no. And they're like, oh my god, you know what I mean? Like what the like what the fuck? So like they sit me down. They gave me breakfast, right? Which is probably like Cheerios or something at the fucking time, right? Just gave me some Cheerios and some milk or whatever. They call the police. Police show up. Police are like, so what happened? Da, 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 right? Like they're like, well, so what happened? And I'm like, oh, I wanted to go like visit my friend Kyle. And they're like, okay, but why didn't you tell your parents or anything? And I was like, because I just wanted to go see him like that night. You know what I mean? Like when I wanted to do something, I wanted to do it like right now. You know what I mean? So I had no time to waste, kind of thing. And the cops confused and all that. So cops like at least you're safe or whatever, right? So meanwhile, all this time, I'm surprised I haven't been like took or something. You know what I mean? Like early 2000s like that. It was like the start of the stranger danger and all that. So I probably got some luck right there, but